So I'm with Philippe from Cinela. I can see that you've had a very busy year since we spoke to you last year at IBC.
Oh yes, very busy.
And it looks to me like you've been working on little things this year.
We have worked on, for this kind of microphones, that would say this one, all the 1417C from DPA, which is also required. The problem, of course, as an evidence, is the short section at the back of the microphone.
And also no mass. It weighs very little.
Oh, of course. I mean, it has many advantages and big disadvantages. Very difficult to find accessories for that.
Sure.
So I will show you that. First of all, I will talk about something else.
Please do.
Let's begin by this. This is we have this Leo range, the Leonard range, for 20, 25 and 22 millimeters, and also an MS version, which will be there also. But the new thing is that the material is now completely unbreakable, so you can completely scratch it, and it will recover its shape easily, and with some other new features, like the fact you can dismantle in two parts. So for some microphones, you can have that part coming from here, that part coming from here. I'm thinking about the Neumann. There is a ring on the capsule, and there is also the logo, which is difficult, so you could insert it in that kind of ball. Second thing is also a question of material. For years now, approximately nearly 10 years, we made this Albert. Albert is mainly for ORTF, so this is a lateral windshield. And by now, we had a problem with the quality of the material, which can break quite easily. So now, finally, we found this material, which is completely unbreakable. So we can sell that with much more confidence in front of the customers. This is mainly available for ORTF, for the CCM from shops, and for the MKH 8000 series from Sennheiser, in two channels, mainly ORTF and also a center channel.
And they're very cute, the little suspensions for the capsules.
Oh yes, you have inside it, so that noise, crazy noise. So inside it you have three separated suspensions. So in the Minix style, and you can also adjust if you need to make a fine tuning of angles and also distance between mics. You can fine tune that.
Fantastic.
So now we're going to talk about this kind of microphone. So first of all, let me say, yes, what is expected for that microphone is a very small suspension, the smallest as possible, because the microphone is the smallest as possible. So there is an interest to have a suspension the smallest as possible. This is in the classic O6 spirit, I mean with two isolators. And then we have been obliged to make a different cradle, where the holding of the microphone has to be very tight, because there is a very short part where we can hold it. So here is the installation, and you have to secure it and to tighten it very hardly. And then also the position of the swivel is more in the front, leaving some space for the foam here. That's very important to have enough space behind the main capsule, and so finding the main compromise and the better compromise for everything. This is still a prototype, but this will be very nice for foam only, I would say, foam or improved foam, maybe a bigger foam, but definitely not for these furry screens that can be very heavy, and also that has limited efficiency in that conditions. So now the next unit we'll try to do this kind of thing. So this is definitely a new concept, where that's the whole cage, the whole body, which is fully suspended, and that was a challenge. That's the, I would say, prototype number 6. Number 6 means 6 other previously tested techniques with form, different way of the fixation of the isolators, the shape of the isolators. So this one is begins to be very interesting. You have a good compromise. It's very soft, very flexible, and of course enough firm in manipulation. The very good thing is that there is a surrounding surface here, a surrounding fabric or even fur that goes enough far away from the capsule everywhere, including at the back, where the final shape is very smooth here, so no tricky holes where you can have turbulences inside. So now, how you install the microphone? So you have to unplug this because the microphone is enough long, so you extract that like that. So now I will put the microphone in. Let me show you. It's okay. So the microphone is put, the XLR is like that here. Put it here. This piece can be made in different versions for different microphones, adapting to the correct diameter. And then you insert it softly like that. It's secured, and then it enters in a very rigid tube here with nothing around. I mean, there's just a layer of fabric or fur and no foam, nothing else that can make noise or change the directivity of the microphone. So you insert it, there's O-rings with a soft rubber finish here, so like that. And it really creates something very smooth in the shape. So you just put it like that here, and in the new swivel. So that makes something very nice. In this we also introduce a different swivel, which can have 2 different positions. This is a knob, but this can be also just a fixed screw if we need it. And so then the new thing is that you can change the angle. That could be interesting with the plug-on transmitter, which is now the balance is correct if you put it under the boom instead of on the side of the boom. So, and you of course secure it with a knob or even with a screw. We will have to choose the final solution. Oh, something else is now we have this, the fixation of the boom is made by this aluminum piece, which is a very strong and unbreakable thing. The last thing is something I cannot show you here, but that's the new swivel technique. You cannot see it, but inside here, it is not flat surface, it is cones. And because it's cones, then the quality of the friction of the here is very nice. So we can achieve something unbreakable, something very small, something very light, and you can have a very limited force to lock it, and the pressure gets very high inside.
You've had a really big think about this, haven't you?
We expect very good success of all these elements, but it's a long way, and we are here mainly to talk with people and to explain which are the issues. One of the issues, as you can imagine, because of the technique of this fixation of the isolators to the cage, the fur is not a slip-on element. You have to choose, you can dismantle this. So this is a module, and so you have to change the module to choose what would be the right solution. You see, that's I would say. I have to see. We have to check with the customers whether they prefer to have something very nice in hands with very nice characteristics. The wind protection is really nice, much better than classical furry screens. This is a very interesting solution. The transparency is also very nice. So let's see the balance between this new way of using it and the quality of the accessory. Let's see.
I'm fascinated at the quantity of work that you've done on all of this. Is a lot of this made possible? I'm guessing you're the guy that's bought a 3D printer and you're doing a lot of at least prototyping.
Yes, currently for this project, since about 2 months, we have 2 printers and they print all day long.
Oh, really?
And probably nights, certainly those 2 weeks, all nights, to make things change. You know, the design is, that's it. You design something, you test it, and you change something and you retest it, and so you break it and you redo it, and so it's very interesting. So we have to make now all the molds, but that's very proximate to the very final design, so ready to push the red button for the molds.
Fantastic. And so have you a time scale for when you think you might have a product?
The mini suspension will be probably ready in 2 months, and all these new things hopefully before the end of the year.
Fantastic. Thanks, Philippe, very much indeed.
Thanks to you.